All right, here we are, and we're going to take some Helios Farms VonderKurds, and we're going to stretch them into mozzarella. Now, you can just eat the VonderKurds. They're raw cheese. We freeze them, so they should arrive frozen. And we freeze them in a state where they're stretchable into mozzarella. If you just thaw them out and you let them sit, they're going to get more and more sour because the cultures are going to awaken from their frozen state and start turning the curds into tartar cheese. So, but when you just thaw them out, they should be fairly mild. You can just eat them as cheese curds, or you can actually just melt them on things as well. But here I'm going to show you how to take the VonderKurds. I cut the package with scissors, and then you're going to throw it into a bowl. I've got 2 pounds here that I'm doing, and you can break the curds up a little bit. So there's broken up curds. They're pretty well thawed out. I can feel a little bit of ice in there, but not much. Doesn't matter. And then I usually just drain off any liquid that's in there. That's whey that's come out of the curds. So breaking up the curds. And that one's that's a frozen chunk. So break that into smaller pieces, because all these curds have to absorb the heat pretty evenly, and so having them small like that is good. I'm using kosher salt today, just Morton. We have Himalaya salt, but it has a grit in it. When I use it usually for making our mozzarella, but I do it by brining it and getting the grit out of it, so that you don't get grit in the curds. So you put quite a bit of salt on, and then kind of massage it in to the curds, and then you take boiling water. I just have a teapot that I use, and just cover the curds with boiling water. So now they're all absorbing the heat. And as they absorb the heat, you want to kind of merge them all together. It takes a bit of time for them to soak up the heat. I've got a couple wooden spoons I'm using to do this. And you might, I generally need to refresh the boiling water a little bit, pour some of this off, but we're not going to do that right now. We're just going to keep squishing things together. You kind of want to work these gently. You don't want to overwork them, because you can end up with kind of a tough mozzarella. You squeeze them together. You can see they're kind of merging together a little bit, but you also want the heat to keep soaking into the center of the curds. be patient with it a little bit. I also tend to put my hands in there, have your hands be clean, kind of squeeze them together. And then once that boiling water, you can feel that, or I can feel that most of the heat is actually, it's not boiling anymore, obviously. So it's transferred into the curds, and it's probably at maybe 100 and, I don't know, maybe 130 degrees now, 120. It's not burning my hand. So, but the cheese really, in order to stretch it, should be a little warmer than that. So we're gonna go ahead and put in some, drain off about half of this, and add some more boiling water to get them a little stretchier. So that salt, it looks like, you know, when you add it initially, that's a lot. It looks like a lot of salt, but you're actually just draining most of that off. And so now we've got more hot water in there, gonna raise the temperature of the curds. They should I think the curds need to be up probably around 140, 150 to be real stretchy. Now you can see we're getting a little better result there. Merge it together. That milky stuff is actually the way that leaves the mozzarella. Kind of stretch it and fold it. It's looking like a big ball of mozzarella now. It's all pretty stretchy. And again, the VonderKurds arrived warm, so we heat it all up, but I think, or they arrived raw, and they've never been heated over 100 degrees, I think, at the time that we freeze them. And then this heats them up to maybe 140, 150 degrees. And for a short period of time. The fresh mozzarella, now I've got water that's a little too hot, but I can handle the cheese. I break a piece of it off. And this is the motion that turns it into a nice mozzarella ball. I kind of grab and tuck on this side and pull the side over. You want to have a bowl of cold water. Got a measuring thing here. So you see how you tuck into one side and stretch over the other side, like that. Get a nice shiny surface on there. You kind of pinch it together. If you're a bread maker, this is a way to make the same kind of motion that you use to make dinner rolls. And those kinds of things. You can use this kind of stretching the surface over the bread loaf to make a nice bread loaf that's got a slick surface. So there's a nice shiny mozzarella ball. I'm going to dip that right into cold water. That firms it up. And then I'm going to grab another piece here. Same kind of motion. Tucking in the rough spot on one edge and stretching, pushing it through kind of a fist that I make with this hand. Push it through the fist with your fingers like this. Stretch it, and you see that nice stretch comes over the surface like shiny. It's very shiny little mozzarella ball that we're making. And you can, if you think that's too big of a ball, you can just pinch off a piece of it, throw it back in the pot. There's a nice mozzarella ball. The bottom I kind of pinch in order to seal it. And then we toss that into the cold water. Grab another, you can merge that piece that you pinched off. So we'll make this into two final pieces here. Take that, stretch it around itself, push into it, stretch through the fist like that, push into it. You got yourself a nice mozzarella ball. Stretch. And then cold water, so that cools it down quick and firms it up a little bit. I'm going to stretch this final one. Get a nice stretchy surface on it. And basically that's 2 pounds of freshly stretched mozzarella from starting with Helios Farms VonderKurds. And then the most important part, I'll grab the first one since it's going to be the coolest. Put that one in the, this is my cold water bowl. I guess I should show you that. I think it's in the lens, but it's not. So I've been tossing the balls into this cold water. And here's the slightly cooled down one. Looks nice. This is going to be pretty wrinkly on the bottom. And the surface looks real good. And I'm going to take one of our cutting boards. And there we have the mozzarella ball. I'm going to grab a knife. We're going to slice off a piece. There it is. And then the most important part. I guess I'm eating it, tasting it. It's really yummy. So you can put some balsamic vinegar, tomato, basil, slice this into little pieces, and it's a real treat, as you know. So VonderKurds to mozzarella, that's the video. Thank you. Bye.